today I want to talk about the number 2 killer of Americans. Number 1, of course, is doctors. But let's look at number 2 killer, cardiovascular disease. We're talking about congestive heart failure, cardiomyopathy, heart disease, coronary artery disease, thrombotic stroke, coronary thrombosis, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, spider veins, varicose veins, hemorrhoids, which are varicose veins in a funny place, and aneurysms, which are rupture in your head, and aorta. All of these things are simple nutritional deficiencies, with the exception of coronary artery disease, which is a combination of a nutritional deficiency and a inflammatory process, because people are eating too many inflammatory foods. We'll get into that. But the rest of them are all nutritional deficiencies, and none of them have anything to do with genetics. None of them have anything to do with cholesterol. Okay, so let's look at congestive heart failure. Congestive heart failure, and of course all these things are in the book Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission. Again, the book Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission. And congestive heart failure is a deficiency of a single vitamin. We've known that for over 300 years. It goes back to 1742. And it was actually discovered by a Japanese naval surgeon. You take this one extra vitamin on top of the 90 essential nutrients, and you're going to support and promote healthy cardiovascular physiology and function. And we've had people who run 27 prescription drugs. These people have been on the heart transplant list for 3 years, and guess what? Their doctors, after just a week on the program, took them off of 27 prescription drugs, took them off the heart transplant list, and declared them cured. Now, cardiomyopathy heart disease is a cause of sudden heart death in athletes and people do hard physical work. They want you to blame that on genetics, but cardiovascular disease, cardiomyopathy heart disease, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart disease is a simple deficiency of a single mineral. I'm the only guy who's ever done 1,700 autopsies in human beings that have died of cardiomyopathy heart disease, a deficiency of a single mineral, and it's published in both English and U.S. scientific journals, and Chinese and Mandarin and Cantonese Chinese scientific journals. And then there's 1,700. It's a deficiency of a single mineral. In pigs, it's called cardiomyopathy heart disease in humans. In pigs, it's called mulberry heart disease, caused by the same mineral deficiency. Coronary artery disease is caused by a reduced intake of antioxidants to protect your arteries from inflammation, things like vitamin C, vitamin E, bioflavonoids, those sorts of things. And then, of course, the inflammation piece, which comes from, and I said this in 1971, and it's just now being sort of 50 years later being said by others that it's a inflammatory disease. Eating fried foods, processed meats, oils, things like gluten, wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Thrombosis. This is one of my 8 lawsuits against the FDA and federal court in which I prevailed. Thrombosis, coronary thrombosis, where you get a coronary artery blocked by a blood clot. Thrombotic stroke, where you get a brain artery clogged by a blood clot. Pulmonary embolism, and then, of course, deep vein thrombosis. These are all caused by a deficiency, an overt deficiency of omega-3 essential fatty acids, or a ratio problem between omega-3s, 6s, and 9s. And then spider veins, varicose veins, hemorrhoids, which are, again, varicose veins in a funny place, and aneurysms. Those are 3 venous diseases, and arterial disease, aneurysms, whether in your brain, your heart, or aorta, or pulmonary artery, or iliac arteries, femoral arteries, are just simple deficiencies of a single mineral. Okay? And these are easily reversed, easily prevented. All these diseases are easily prevented. They have nothing to do with genetics. So you had everybody in your family die of cardiovascular disease. Guess what? You get the book Epigenetics, contact your young people associate and say, hey, I need the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. I want to reduce my risk of cardiovascular disease. And when you see your hair color coming back, if you have white, gray, or silver hair, you see your hair color coming back, you see your spider veins, your varicose veins, and hemorrhoids sort of reducing in size. You say, oh, my gosh, guess what? My blood vessels, my cardiovascular system is healing on the inside. Okay, so you can have these external signals that things are good or going on the inside, because the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack is designed to support and promote healthy maintenance repair of the heart, arteries, veins, capillaries, and anything to do with the cardiovascular system. Okay? Epigenetics, the death of the genetic theory of disease transmission. Now, this research is based on billions of dollars of research in the livestock and pet industry. This is not something I'm making up and hoping and praying is true. This is drop-dead predictable. Okay, this is where these nutrients, these minerals, and these vitamins were proven to be essential nutrients by producing and reversing and preventing these diseases. So there's no doubt about it. And, of course, cardiologists make their living by treating you for these things rather than preventing and get rid of them. So if you're smart, like I think you are, because you're listening to this program, what you want to do is contact your mhTzvJ associate and get the book Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, and you look up congestive heart failure, cardiomyopathy, heart disease, coronary artery disease, thrombosis, spider vein, varicose vein, hemorrhoids, aneurysms, and you'll be amazed what you can do to reduce your risk of these things, prevent them, reverse them. Amazing. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to call. No, we're going to do your Pearls of Wisdom. What's going on?
We're going to talk about this guy. I found a story here originally on Fox News, and it says why one man started drinking 10 Cokes a day and the crazy stuff that happened to him. This guy's name's George Pryor, and he's a pretty health-conscious guy, does a paleo diet, was a high-protein, low carbs, and exercises semi-regularly. He's weighed 168 pounds. And he decided, after seeing him and his brother were talking, and the brother had told him about an actor he'd seen on television that had said they drank 10 Cokes a day to gain weight for a role. And then he saw a USDA report that claimed the average American eats about 156 pounds of sugar every year. That's added sugar. And he says, well, I wanted people to get to think about how much sugar they're eating, so he set up a website to follow his progress. 1 month later, that's just 30 days later, he had gained 23 pounds, increased his body fat by almost 6%, and his blood pressure went from 129 over 77 to 143 over 96. And it says the 10 Cokes pack a whopping 1,400 calories, 390 grams of sugar. Say 390 is a lot of sugar, the equivalent to 14 and a half Snickers bars. And so according to the Center for Science of the Public Interest, they report that the average American consumes about 18 to 23 teaspoons. That's 72 to 92 grams of added sugar every day. And they say that could you really get to 390 very easily without, just eating nothing but cookies? So they decided to put out what they call a hypothetical daily diet. It consists of, for breakfast, 2 servings of Honey Smack cereal with 1 cup of skim milk. That's 48 grams. 8 ounces of orange juice, 22 grams. Coffee with 2 packets of sugar. That's 6 grams. Snack during the midday, a coffee cake muffin, 51 grams. For lunch, a 12-inch sweet onion chicken teriyaki sandwich, 50 grams. And a Coke, that was 51 grams. Afternoon snack, a latte, that was 49 grams. Dinner, lean cuisine, peeled chicken, and that's 15 grams. And for dessert, a cup of Ben & Jerry's chocolate chip ice cream with some sundae syrup on top. That's 73 grams. Grand total, 359 grams. And, other than the lean cuisine dinner, this is the average kind of diet, that a lot of Americans eat, Doc. So, no wonder we're all obese, considering that, the government and medical doctors tell us, all you need to do to control your weight is exercise and don't eat too much.
Yeah, well, of course, they missed it badly. We know that being overweight and obese is due to a nutritional deficiency. It has nothing to do with lack of exercise and eating too much. And when you're deficient in certain nutrients, you get cravings, you get the munchies. And if you choose soft drinks, you're going to get a lot of calories, as you pointed out very well. And so it's probably the poorest choice of all. When you're minerally deficient, you have those cravings, choosing soft drinks to try and satisfy those cravings is just absolutely, positively the wrong thing you can do. I'd rather see you eat a handful, get a handful of nuts, crack the nuts. Don't get shelled nuts because they might have been processed on machinery that also processes wheat products like pretzels and trail mix and things like that. But you can get nuts in the shell, walnuts and pecans and Brazil nuts and almonds and so forth, and crack them yourself and eat them. They're quite safe, and they will satisfy that craving when you're minerally deficient. Now, mineral deficiency